Hello and welcome everybody. Um, for the first couple of minutes, I'll be talking about a couple of cards that I'm thinking about right now, how they fit into our deck, and what we intend to do with it. And if you don't want to, or if you want to skip that, just skip ahead like 5 or 7 minutes. And otherwise, let's just run this first so that we don't have to wait too long. All right, so we're looking at our deck list here, the beautifully designed mana curve, mana distribution. Actually, the distribution between black and red is completely even. It's just that here, cut to ribbons, or if we were to take another terminate in here, or collective brutality, it would be completely even here. So that already brings me to my first point, being that I want to have a connector between logic not terminate and our discard spells. Something that fits just right in between all of our cards. Something that gives us a little bit more flexibility. As I stated before, terminate sometimes is just, shooting pigeons with tanks or sniper rifles or something, and I don't know, it's just not enough. And then on the other side, the metagame has become super, like, whoever thinks that we're, like, at least online, we're positioned well online, well, that's just not the case. So right now there's only Tron and then graveyard synergies like Dredge. Dredge has become somewhat popular again. Then there's of course all the Hollow One lists, Hollow Wine, Hollow One, Hollow, I don't know, all that kind of stuff. And then there's Tron, and all the stupid Tron players. So we have to work around that. Today there's also going to be the modern PTQ down the road. Like, it's 12:15 right now, so it's going to be in like 6 hours. And up until that moment, we still have to figure some stuff out, because I want to participate in the PTQ. And the only part of the deck that I'm really not 100% comfortable with is our 2-drop slot here. I like this a lot. I like this. Just don't like the 2-drop slot. Sideboard's also fine. We have something against basically any deck. And we can also win against any deck. So the most obvious choice here is collective brutality. Just adding a collective brutality to the main board, and that could already do it. It counts as our excuse me. It counts as our 5th and 6th discard spell. We can discard, sometimes other Inquisitions or Thought Seizes in case we need more than one mode. And it would increase or improve our matchup against Storm a little bit, because we can then actually take Gifts and Givens more often, and that kind of stuff. And after boarding, we have like 4 additional counter spells. So there's 2 ways we can go with this. Either we are reducing our counter spells in our sideboard, or we are reducing them in our main board. Because I find myself frequently just boarding out 1 Logic Knot, 1 Jace, and then putting in, more counter magic, like against control, against so many decks. So how are we going to solve this problem? I do not want to have counter squalls in the main board, because I do not think that's actually good. On the other hand, cutting on logic knots in the main board, or cutting counter magic in the main board generally, will furthermore reduce our percentage points against decks like Tron. It will also reduce our percentage points against like KCI, all the combo decks that are prevalent in the meta. And so, and we also have to diversify our removal spells a little bit. But I don't want to play fail pushes. I'm never satisfied with them. I like the proactivity of Inquisition and Thoughtseize, also to protect our Jace. And that's pretty nice. And then, so that got me thinking about like Cut to Ribbons. Cut to Ribbons, for people who don't know, is a card that has been or has seen standard play, and it's definitely not bad, but it is sorcery speed. So upside deals 4 damage to target creature, which already like gets like 90% of the creatures in modern. So that's pretty good. And the bottom half of it is Aftermath, so you can cast it as like a flashback ability from your graveyard, but it has another function, and there you can just, you know, spend all your mana to have your opponent lose X life. So this card is great because like the upside is just a common removal spell, something that we would usually be doing with a Dreadbore, for instance, and we still would have Terminate. So we would increase our removal slots by 1 spell. But then the other side is that also really functions nicely with, say, Pyr Kiran, with Lightning Bolts or whatever, is something where we can just finish or close out the game. Of course, it's not great to flash it back with Jace or Snapcaster Mage, but you can still do that if you are in dire need of a removal spell. So that's that. This will certainly give us some games where we just win out of nowhere, where we have like 7 or 8 mana, and then, you know, end of turn, go Snapcaster Bolt, go to our turn, attack with Snapcaster Mage, which is already 5, and then we deal like 5 with ribbons. So like out of nowhere we just have accumulated 10 damage, where we usually wouldn't be able to do that. So Cut to Ribbons filling more than one role here. Of course, as I said before, Collective Brutality certainly. Let me just grab 2 more copies here, because we might end up not putting those in. So Cut to Ribbons also great with Jace, because we can loot it away and still have like the more important side for us available to ourselves, right? Internet seems to be really slow here. So empty, and then we Collective Brutality. Well, maybe we're not. All right. So this card would make our matchups against, say, like something like humans or Death Shadow, for instance, just really a lot better. Death Shadow, because they oftentimes just go to 9 life, and then we would have the cut still fulfill a role. And then, you know, they would always have to play around the ribbons part, and that's really tough. You know, you can't go to like 4 or 5 life, where otherwise you could go to always 4 life, because you would just be scared of a bolt. So yeah, that's the thing here. We could of course also just cut a Jace, go with the 3rd logic knot main, and then put Cut to Ribbons in. Let's have a look at how this feels. Just how it feels. Cut to 2 ribbons. Of course, it would make us even more graveyard dependent, and both sides in the end are somewhat lackluster. So maybe it's just not good enough. Then there's Grim Lavamancer, of course. Could also be playing Collective Brutality main and then 2 Grim Lavamancers in the sideboard as well. Have been really impressed by Grim Lavamancer, so much so that I started putting it into the main board. Dreadbore is also a card that I would consider just because of Teferi, because we sometimes just can't get rid of it. Grim Lavamancer on the other side does have its good and does have its bad matchups. Oh man. So I'm torn between Collective Brutality, Grim Lavamancer and sideboard. Then there's Logic Knot, there's the other copy of Terminate. So a lot of different cards. Let's see. Let's see. The last time we played Collective Brutality, it turned out pretty good in the main board. As I said, it does fill the spot exactly between our heavy removal, our lighter removal. It doubles down as something that we can get life back with. We can pitch like unnecessary stuff. 2. But now we are, of course, a little lighter on counterspells. Pre-board. Post-board almost doesn't change. See, that's what I mean. Like, everybody's freaking playing Tron, and it's unreal. It is unreal. And if this continues, I'm just gonna play Infect. It's like, yeah, maybe we should just be playing Infect here. Of course, this is not a great, testing ground for Collective Brutality. And the problem about Tron is not that we can't win the matchup, because we can. The problem with Tron and Storm, for instance, is that it's fucking boring to play against. It's like just super exhausting because you're always fighting your way back from behind, and you know, there's no interaction going on. It's like all this shitty stuff happening at the same time. So we can counter the expedition map, and I think we need to do that, even if he has a Karn. Just because Sanctum of Ugin into Ulamog is worse. Because we don't have any way of getting rid of Ulamog right now. So as he's not slamming this Ugin the Spirit Dragon, Breaker, sure. Another retarded card with an uncastability, which in my opinion, you know, uncastabilities is just, that's just a design mistake. Don't know why you would do that, because like then you are really preventing your opponent from interacting with you, and that just should be the case. So now I just feel naked now, like not having access to a third copy of Bloody Knot. And from here on out, we cannot win. If he took down the Karn, then there would have been a chance, but this way, it's very unlikely. Lasso Lily is coming out. This one's gonna join the fray. Collective Brutality, instantly the worst card in our deck. And then we want to have Fulminator Mages, cutting a little bit on PNK, and then have one Surgical, probably one Kalitas. Kalitas because Warbreaker, because of Wurmcoil Engine, just stuff that we don't want to spend additional mana on or cards on. And although Kalitas is a little more susceptible to, like, say a Karn, or also an Ulamog Force, it prevents a couple of other things from happening, and I think therefore it's probably worth it. Definitely gonna keep this, and I hope that we're gonna destroy our opponent here. That's what I really hope for. That makes my day. Destroying my Tron opponent. Mine Tower Expedition map. Don't even know. It's like yeah, we're still taking one expedition map, obviously, and then we're just gonna hate on the tower. The Tower of Power. Alright. And hopefully find another land in time. So expedition map also, I mean, he knows about our nimble obstructionist, so he has to be thinking about that. And that's what I really like. Like if you playing 3 nimbles, 2 fulminator mages, you basically end up with 5 ways to disrupt the find the land game plan of Tron. Alright, man, come on. Your deck's not so complicated. I expect him to have brought in Thaumateers and Direct Tusks. Therefore, we still have to be a little careful. And our counter squalls also. So we really need to go after his mana here, otherwise we might just be caught off guard. Opponent with the most complicated of turns, deciding whether or not he wants to crack his expedition map in his turn or in ours. And you know, for a Tron player, that's a pretty difficult decision. Alright. I was actually contemplating on whether or not he wants to crab the map this turn or if he doesn't. I want to do that. Alright. Yeah, we're probably discarding the Inquisition here and then get rid of the tower. We already fetch shocked 2 times and, you know, although Ballista, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now so that he cannot do it upkeep expedition map. But we do have another one. And that's a good thing about Jace. Even if you don't have graveyard, or even if your opponent's hating on your graveyard, then you still have a couple of pretty good plays. Alright. Oh man. Yeah, I think it's just a custom issue, right? Has to be. He could Oblivion Stone, of course, next turn. We cannot get rid of the field of ruin. So we can do a couple of things here. I would like to aid only on his tower. If he goes tower and then Oblivion Stone, and I also want to protect our Jace to a certain degree. And interestingly, we're down a couple of cards. Yeah, I think that was worth it. So we can Field of Ruin the thing. Probably just get a red source. Activate Jace. Maybe we shouldn't have activated them yet. So let's say he has a Thought here that he can deploy. It's more likely that he's going to play the O-Stone next turn. But O-Stone's also just going to get rid of a Jace. Do we need the mana? Yeah, I think we're just going to go discarding Bolt here. What's going on? Hello? Oh man. Internet just broke. Well, let's see when we get it back. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut the video and see you back in a second when I hopefully have internet again. Alright, welcome back to the round. Inactive time remaining, sure. We're gonna pitch the Bolt here. It's not doing a whole lot for us anyway, and yeah, we lost like 6 minutes, maybe a little more. But we should still be on track. I would love to see a Thaunatia here, obviously. No, actually wouldn't love it because we wouldn't be able to get rid of it. But, yeah. All right. So she gave up on, or he gave up on. Alright, we do have a cryptic command. That is pretty nice. being a little mana cautious here. Question is, should we lightning bolt already? Also, what happens if we just attack with the tar pits? But I would like to go after the. So he plays that, has 9. World Breaker is the worst thing that can happen to us. That's something that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. Just gonna go with the tar pit here. And then I'm just gonna destroy the power plant. Color Guns command would be really good. Snapcaster Mage would also be great. Other than that, we don't have a whole lot. Obviously, like, if he plays a World Breaker and takes out tar pit, that'd be horrible. Could have in response bounced our tar pit to counter the World Breaker, but then sure. Counter Squall is also a good card, though. You cannot activate tar pit and have Counter Squall up. That is somewhat problematic. I think we need to wait a turn here. Exactly for this reason. Could also go Explorer with the Expedition map. He has a couple of options there. And now if he just passes the turn here, I'm gonna bounce the tower. No, I'm actually bouncing the power plant. Because if we draw... Oh, no, don't tap. Because I want to be able to attack him with the tar pit. There's the second black mana. Alright. Yeah, I think this should do it. Alright, and now we have 10 minutes for the last round. That should be enough, unless internet stops working again. So, Internet by itself, pretty happy with the way we boarded it. There's not really a lot that we want to change. We might contemplate Pioneer and Lore, just to have a couple more blockers. But that's also not really a thing, is it? Alright. He left in all his old stones apparently. Okay, surgical is good. It's our one-off card here. It's a nice one to have. natural Tron. He had like snap keep and then. Alright, Sylvan Scrying, sure. So I would want to plan our draws, our coming steps a little bit more. Therefore, I think we're just gonna surgical the Sylvan Scrying here. Have a look at what's going on in his hand. There's a Thought-Knot here, an Ulamog, Sanctum, and no stone. Oh my god. He doesn't have Tron yet. So that's the upside here. But he will have a turn 4 Thought-Knot here that we can hopefully counter. And then he's still some ways off of the Ulamog. Oh man. Instant punish here. Question is, do we want to try to flip the Jays fast? I don't think so. Of course, this makes it somewhat awkward for us. He has 8 mana, goes for a Thought-Knot here for 4, has 4 mana left. So we fetch, have 4 in our graveyard, and then this 1 additional mana. So we actually need to spend all of our mana to counter the Thought-Knot here. Including the surgical, which I would rather not get rid of, but we wouldn't have a chance or an option. Definitely cannot let that resolve. And having the Jays, you know, just being our flexible way of getting rid of stuff, it's also fine. So we know about the Ulamog, which he might not be able to cast next turn yet. Well, but any Tron land enables that. Yeah, we cannot risk doing it. We'll have a land be blown up. The only, of course, if we draw a Thought here now, that's different. Not a Thought, Fulminator Mage. Oh, and we drew one. That's quite fortunate. So I think we're gonna discard Conosquall now, right? What was the last card he searched for? Reveals Urza's Mine. Okay. Discarding this demons feels wrong on so many levels. One Ulamog, one more breaker, and that's just lights out. On the other hand, the counter squall, of course, also gives us a little bit of action and utility. Oh, that's also a good one. Yeah, let's keep both on top here. And then blow up the mine. So we've also already gotten rid of all of his Sylvan Scrying, so he actually doesn't have so many ways anymore to find particular cards in his deck. Oh, we still need... Oh no. Relic was a good one again. You might need to do it now. Sure. Alright. So just a Sanctum. We're gonna discard the Terminate. Another Expedition map. Alright. Yeah. Discarding Terminate because it's Feeder for him as well. Because I actively wanted, I think our graveyard, now that he played Relic, is safer than our hand is. If we run into a Thornotsia or stuff, being tapped out, I don't want him like to catch our only way to getting rid of the Thornotsia. So now he's popping the O-Stone. That could be possible. Ooh. Kalitas. Well, the O-Stone is somewhat annoying. Obviously, we couldn't have bounced at end of turn. Because then he would have destroyed it in response. Now, we could bounce the Jays, but that's also probably not the winning play here. We do have a couple of threads still left in our deck. Most importantly, the mills. Good. Polygon's command is also a good one. Also a good one. Interesting pattern here. we are gonna counterbalance. Nimble is good, is a really good card here. We can, on the one hand, counter the trigger again of Sanctum of Ugin, but more importantly, can just go and play it out. Actually, I have a win condition on board. That even if he deals with it, we can still Colorgon's Command back. And we don't have 6 mana yet, therefore. Alright. He has enough mana accumulated right now that I'm willing to wait one more turn until we have 6 mana. That's also an important notion. This and this. Another Urza's Mine, and I think we already killed one, right? Yeah. So he has one more left if we kill the mine here. I think we're just gonna go upkeep. Draw step, Snapcaster, Colorgon's Command. Turn Jace, discard. Oh yeah, that was an important one. Also one with which he could have triggered the Sanctum of Ugin. Taking the Urza's Mine here. That still leaves him with 7 mana. If we draw something really good here. But I think this was a one-up window where we could actually do stuff after having avoided like a really good card there. Of course, now he has only like 6 mana available, which is still enough for a Wurmcoil Engine, but not enough for anything else, and a Wurmcoil Engine can get rid of with Jace. Okay, discarding the other Jays. Then probably thought seizing him. Oh man. And now I'm gonna go ahead and counter this, bounce our Snapcaster Mage. Just want to know what he has in hand. Although, yeah, alright, just know this tower. just to know, have a better understanding of what we need to play around. All right. And we might already be willing here to, with 4 Snapcaster, yeah, I'm just gonna go bold and bolt him again. This way we have 3 ways of killing him next turn. One of which is this one. I think he knew about the Snapcaster Mage in our hand. And yeah. All right. Having our Tron player rage quit there. But, you know, that's what you sometimes get. And as I said, you know, in the beginning, these games are not unwinnable. They are just super exhausting and super boring to play because you're doing stuff and your opponent is not. Yeah, that seems to be a keeper. Now, I always, when I see a collective brutality in my opener, think that we're actually post board. Are we playing it? No. Hold on. So he certainly has a Goblin Mower in hand. Might also have a Lightning Bolt. But can we risk it? Oh, he plays a tap. That makes it a little easier here. Because now, of course, he cannot bolt our Jace anymore. Therefore, if he's taking the turn off here to kill our Jace, that's in it by itself fine. Yeah, just playing the Golden Mower. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think we need to combine a little bit here to get rid of one hull one at least, and probably by discarding cryptic commands. This way we leave our options open as far as we can. Liliana, don't want to discard Liliana because if they do have a Flamewake Phoenix in his graveyard, in their graveyard, we can shrink the whole one with the Liliana, and then, well, there's the Phoenix and there's a Blood Gas. Oh my god. Alright, at this point, we could have also thought about, like, we had 8 damage in our hands, but that wouldn't have been enough. Otherwise, we could have thought about like just killing them somewhere else. Is there any way here we don't just die this turn? Could flashback collective brutality on Flameblade adapt, get 2 life. Probably need to discard Liliana by now. Two modes, this and this. Yeah, and as I said before, like currently the meta is like leaks look like this every fucking time. It's like Tron into Hollow One into Dredge. It's insane. And there's a Hazel Blood Gas, sure. Alright. Get to put a couple of cards in. It's important to not have too many 4-drops. Other than that, well, Thoughtseize, maybe one. Is there any way we punish him for... It's not a perfect hand, but it is one from which we can develop. But I could also see mulliganing this aggressively. Yeah, but this is the reason I kept it. Because we do have an answer here, gain a little bit of tempo, then run a Jace out. To be honest, everybody, I think the greatest offender in Modern is he discarded 3 lands? Man, that's lucky. But our hand actually got a little better. He also, interestingly, chose to not I lost track of what I was going to say. Alright, Flying Feetings. Killing all Jays. So that's not going to be a problem for the foreseeable future. Let's see what he starts casting now. Maybe another one. Sure. I would argue, yeah, you need to attack mate. So let's see. In this draw step, I think I'm gonna kill the Flaming Phoenix. And then we're gonna surgical the phoenixes. I want to have the Jace because I want to be able to like stop these nasty 2/2s. Alright, but he will be able to get rid of all Liliana if he chooses to. Then he doesn't have any plays anymore, so that's fine with me. Why does he have 3 cards in hand though? We did it in his draw step, right? I thought so at least. Did Gomag Angler come in? No, he would tap for that before. Alright, just discarding and drawing a card. Discarding Mountain. Not gonna kill the thing. Don't really mind. Again, as I said, we can just block it. That's fine. Flaming Phoenix already a huge pain in the ass that we've gotten rid of. Not yet gonna deploy our Creeping Toppet. Don't think there's any need for that right now, because we have ways of getting rid of everything here. Is it Zedicaster? It keeps Bloodghast in check. We don't have priority in between, that's why we cannot surgical the Faithless Looting. Can surgical that one though. So he has to have a really good couple of cards in hands now, otherwise you wouldn't be discarding Goblin Lore and Faithless Looting. We could be saying, alright guys, We still have a lot of stuff in. Well, now we can just. So I'm contemplating whether or not I want to surgical the faithless looting, but even with an is it Steadcaster here, I do not want to use the Snapcaster Mage on it, and I do want to. Yeah, maybe I would just make him discard and return Snapcaster Mage with the Call Guns command, but then if he has another Hollow one, that's also not a great line of play. We're gonna fetch for a basic island here, just in case of a Blood Moon. And I mean, we could also just take down Jace and Zero Visions. That'd be fine. If we find a Kalitas, that's just game. And then we would still have the capability of Snapcaster, returning Snapcaster. Yeah, probably both of these cards are still worth way more when we have them in our graveyard. So I'm just gonna go Seven Visions here. Counter Squall is something that I like in the spot. P and Kieran Lar is like our second best draw here after Kalitas. Yeah, this time it's a Goma game now. I would think that you would always want to Faithful Suiting beforehand. Oh, well, you can also do that now, but he doesn't have a well, no, Flaming Phoenix, of course, isn't a thing anymore. We took care of that, never mind. Okay, we're gonna use that now. Then deploy P and Kieran Lar. Hold up a Counter Squall. Tab there. And then we should be in decent shape, actually. Also don't mind if this thing dies. Like, alright, then you get it back. So what? Get a flyer, we're gonna kill it with the... Is it Steadcaster? So no big deal. Still leaving up our mana. There's also no reason why we would attack here with the top bit when we have, you know, so many good options in our hand. So we can block it if in case he returns it here. Alright, that's what he was hoping for. Now I understand. Yeah, he just, let's see it here. Alright, I hope that he will change his sideboard plan a little bit now. And that might be helpful for us. Looks like he doesn't. Yeah, I mean... a little bit of interaction. has already. So we need to fetch shock this in order to have terminate for turn 2. Would also be great if we, well, as Telecaster is definitely a yes. Definitely a yes. We need the top it though in order to deploy this Steadicaster. And the Steadicaster in order to get rid of the Bloodghasts. Alright. So there's not really anything worth here to get rid of. We're going to 13 at the minimum. Could have something else that's really good, of course. Definitely going to 13 here. But we do have Urza Telecaster next turn. This looks to be probably an Angler Tesker. And I'm not gonna lie, Tesker makes it a little bit awkward here for us. So we're taking 4 either way. The only question is, do we want to disrupt his hand right now and just kill the Tesker, which could be a decent line. I think like right now that might be our best bet here. Yes. In order to protect our is it Steadicaster? Probably drew at least 2 really good spells here. Shocking. Alright. That's fine. He draws 2 cards. That's still pretty good, but he spent a card for it, so kind of okay. So let's see if he goes for Despair here. Interesting tech at least. So if he has a bolt, then we probably want to block first. And then declare it on the other one. Because we want, yeah, I think this is the correct line here. Yeah, right. Because otherwise he could have bolted his own thing to get 2 damage in. It's not the most intuitive of lines, but it is a line that, you know, is worth contemplating. Of course, does have lands. Also still has a Faithless Looting in his graveyard. What we really need here is is the Kalitas. twice. Yeah, this card. This card for 4 mana is fine. But of course also just get like to get back our Steadycaster, so lucky for him that he drew a second lightning bolt there. This thing just gets back, that one gets back as well. We could play Snapcaster Mage and Inquisition. It's a take 5 basically. And then if we hit lands, no matter which one it is, we still have Collective Brutality. I think that's probably worth it. Or another, is it Steadycaster? And Liliana is also not the worst. It all depends on whether or not we can survive during next turn. Oh, they all have Menace now? That's fucked up. I should have read that. Yeah, we need to discard 4 cards. That's tough. That's rough. Cannot block anything. And then no 4 triggers occur. Which probably are this one. Get the Steadycaster, can block here. Can block here. Then one spirit gets through. The thing is that Liliana gets back all of our creatures. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the riskiest of lines here. But I don't think that we have another option here. So we're gonna block here. Gonna block here. Yes. Kill stuff. Go to 1. Street Wraith. Yeah, that was actually, I think, one of the few lines that we straight up lose to. We just cannot do anything against this. Like, we can reduce it to like 1 damage, but that's still enough for us, right? We cannot block it. We do have a swamp. That's fucked up. But I will admit that that was a good spot by our opponent. No, I don't think that there is another way. And the tightest of margins here, exactly for the 1 lethal damage. Unreal. Now bolt. We're just gonna tap our mana here. That seemed unfair. We almost had the game under control. Liliana and Zedicaster together would have kept the board quiet, and then we would have been able to recur Snapcaster Mage the turn after that, and with the Snapcaster Mage we could have played the Brutality to get up to 3 life again, as well as having a threat, and from there on out I think we only lose to both. Wow. Alright, after to the third round here. After 2 more than tough matches, I was gonna say. By the way, today is the Football World Cup. Germany is playing. Hope we win, of course. But I'm not really a fan of the national coach. So I'm not emotionally involved as I used to. No, looks to be a keep. Is this a fucking joke? Oh man. Yeah, so let's try to get rid of the Sylvan Scrying. 2 mines, 2 towers. Interesting keep. Interesting keep. I'm not even sure what we are supposed to get rid of here. I think we're just gonna go after the Olmok. Run him out of threats. Like the Walking Ballista won't be relevant for a couple more turns, and we do have removal for it, therefore that is somewhat fine to me. Of course, the Walking Ballista is somewhat annoying with Pink here and Law. But we can't promise that we can utilize the Thoughtseize later down the road. Oh, he does have an expedition map. Good that we did that. Alright, so this time we're getting rid of the walking ballista. Putting him in a little bit of a pickle here. So he has both of each still. And let's see if he's going for forest or if he is going for Tron here. Could see both happening. Alright, Tron after all. Thoughtseize also a good card to have. So now we need to contemplate on whether or not he might have already found a threat. We know about 3 cards in his hand. Therefore I'm not too worried, but the Ancient Stirrings can of course always find whatever he needs to find. We should have done both in our turn. Gotten rid of the power plant and Thoughtseize as well. I mean there's still the Ancient Stirrings that we definitely hit, so the risk wasn't super high, but maybe I was too greedy here. And if this is how the meta will shape out next 2 weeks from now in Barcelona, man, that's gonna suck. Maybe it's just Blue Moon time then. To have something pre-board against Tron. Or even Blue-White Control. There you have a lot of play against Tron, and you also do have, so everything but a power plant here is fine. Relic, sure. And all of them are mainboarding them, those relics. So now I'm actually pretty happy. I think he's gonna cycle it anyway, sooner than later. And now I'm happy that I didn't play the Thoughtseize, because I want to have more information down the roads on what he's going to draw. Gonna take off 1 turn and just keeping up logic, cryptic commands, so that nothing happens to us. And the next turn we're gonna Thoughtseize and then decide on whether or not we want to play threat, keep up counter magic, or want to have more to dig. Also not revealing the Jace here right now, because I actually actively want him to use the relic before we play the Thoughtseize. A star, sure. So you should still have, and there's the Urza's mine. Apparently didn't find anything you can play here, can deploy. Brutality is certainly not the best card in the matchup. Well, this mine goes quarter and forest. So he can only get up to 6 next turn, which means I'm definitely gonna go with P and Kieran here. Probably sacking the relic now to find action, because we now establish the clock. 2 draw steps to find both a threat and Tron. Found one of the 2. He's gonna cycle it. Don't have anything in our graveyard. Third tower. Looks like a huge ballista. Could also be an Emrakul, but I do not hope that he's playing that. So we know about Ghost Quarter and Forest, right? And another was mine. No, those are the last 3 cards in this hand. So he's basically on a 1-turn clock here. If we get to attack next turn without having anything blown up, he's at 8. Then we can utilize that turn to, like, even if he cleans the board, we can P and Kieran Lar, put him to 4. Then we have Brutality, and with the Jays we can flashback Brutality potentially. If he finds an old stone, of course, that changes a little. Oh yeah, he must have found something here that he's thinking about doing. Opponent has disconnected. And our opponent has already taken, significant amounts of his time. So if we can put this to game 3, maybe we'll win by timing him. I mean, like I don't even mind against Tron. Like I would take anything. So we joined the game again. All right. That's already a good sign. Do like me some Tron nothing. Playing nothing. Yup. So now I think we have 7 mana, not 8. Yeah, he wouldn't have won that one. Alright, this coming in, this coming in, this is coming in as well. Electric Brutality, certainly gonna get thrown out here. Yana Lasso, not even close to good. Oops. Want to have the counter scrolls, surgicals as well. 1 Jace because of all the relics. One of these. And maybe Pia Kiran is actually better than Kalitas. Like, I'm never unhappy to have Pia Kiran. Never. There's not a single game. No, sometimes it's not just not a good card, but yeah, I love Pia Kiran. Field of Ruin probably makes this a keeper. Not a great hand though. Surgical. Alright. Oh man, he's on 1 land? Oh fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah, guys. Fuck yeah. That is awesome. Because this means that we can nimble the expedition map. Yeah, he needs to find a land with the ancient stirrings. Awesome, guys. Awesome. That's somewhat a bummer. Somewhat of a bummer. Reason being that now it's tougher for us to surgical him. So I'm thinking about different lines here right now that we could take. I mean, I just don't hope that he, found Tron here out of nowhere. Yeah, perfect. We're not there yet. We need him to tap out again. To a certain degree. And I would assume that he wants to have 3 mana. How likely is it that he just draws into Tron here? Because we don't really care about anything else. Well, let's just risk it. Guys, that was a heartbeat away from me just losing my shit. Yeah, we can't do anything against that. Yeah. So I think we're gonna go with the power plant here. Kill the power plant. Leave up surgical for any moment where relic goes on the stack. Oh no, actually, it doesn't even matter. Like if he doesn't crack the relic right there, like on our end step, there's another expedition map. Yeah, I guess we cannot prevent that as well. Okay, let's see. Because we go after his power plants. Sadly, he will receive an untapped land source. Okay. Okay. So he's definitely not gonna have Tron next turn. And we can't keep him off of Tron forever. We have the capability. I think we're saving the Thoughtseize. Are we though? We're gonna use Nimble anyway, right? No. Alright, so he only has Urza's Mine and a couple of cards that we don't really care about. And he'll get eventually, he'll get to Karn eventually. I think that's still the pick here. Then in his upkeep, we're gonna force him to use his mana. At least one of them. Oh. Oh, he targeted himself. Oh my god. Oh my god, I made a mistake. I didn't. Damn it. That wasn't good. Alright, back to the basic plan. That's even better that we took the thing there. Ancient Stirrings. Yoo-hoo. But that also, like there we couldn't have actually prevented him from doing that. That's no stone. No. Because he activates his relic, has 1 mana open, we surgical in response. Oh, actually, that would work. Can't talk myself out of that mistake. Well, it wasn't even a mistake, it's just more of a thing that you do. That's quite nice for us, though. So I think he's looking for lands. I would have to assume. I think he just had a mine in hand last time we checked. And from there he just went with an Ancient Stirrings, therefore probably doesn't have anything relevant at least. So we're gonna return and kill artifacts. And him tapping for the Chromatic Star, yeah, certainly was a mistake as well. Whew, another mine. Yeah. We're just gonna take this opportunity away from him as it arises. Oblivion Stone, sure. Alright, so we do have a couple of really good things we can do here. We also can prevent Oblivion Stone from coming off. We do have Nimble, which is relevant. There's a thought, let's see. So here, it's interesting that I think I'll let it resolve, cycle the Nimble, and terminate the Thought here. So we have a counter for the Wormcoil Engine. Oh, even better this way. So we could kill the Oblivion Stone here. Could get back our Nimble. Keep our Logic Knots. Have Snapcaster Rate Mage at the ready. 7 cards in hand. One, two. Alright, got there. Easy game, easy game. Woo! Those Tron motherfuckers, right? That's the thing, you know, they hate playing the game so much that if you counter like 3 to 4 of their spells, they just concede. That really lifts me up, I have to say. Like, as depressing it is to play against Tron, as much fun it is it to win against Tron. And for that very reason, like in any game you see me playing against Tron, I'm like cycling the nimbles, countering triggers left and right, and just getting those sweet spots. And for that very reason, I'm not gonna like ever put out a single copy of Nimble Obstructionist out of my deck. No one can convince me otherwise. Alright, we have a decent deck. Decent hand. Hopefully we're not playing against like something fucked up again. Like Nile, for instance. So yeah, it's just gonna be like a bolt. He might have 2 mutagenic growths, but actually I enjoy playing against Infect quite a lot. I like it. I really do. So we're going with Inquisition first here. Oh yeah, 2 Blighted Agents. Thought so. 1 mutagenic growth, but that won't save his agents. So we're gonna take one of those. Terminate is a good card. Mountain is also, well, it's not too important, but PNQ Nalar is a really important card in the matchup. And yeah. Yeah, it's pretty unlikely that he's gonna win this. And for a change, we don't have to be mindful of our life total, which is pretty great. And the last hope should just seal the deal here. Yeah, he doesn't know how this works. It would survive for this turn, but then in the next upkeep, it just instantly dies. It doesn't even have time to respond. That's what I always hope for my opponents is doing when I'm playing against them. Fulminate a mage, dispel. Liliana's are good. Collective Brutality is pretty good. This is good, this is good, this is good. Everything's good, guys. Our deck's basically built to beat Infect. Now I actually don't know what to take out here. I obviously want to have the bolts. Is it Steadycaster is also pretty good. Oh, they are bridge stop. Stop. If they're playing the Aaron list there, they are probably bringing in Geist of Handcraft and trying to kill us like the normal way. Still think that Grim Lavamatz is just too good here. Collective Brutality seems also just really good. Logic Knot for that reason cannot be thrown out. Maybe is it Zedcaster? Maybe that's just too much. Same goes for Fulminate the Mage. Come on, guys. What am I throwing out here? Cryptic? One Cryptic? All 3 Cryptics? Though, if he's playing a Geist, I mean, no. 1 Dispel, and 1 Lavamatza. Don't see any other way here. We could take out our Jaces completely, but why would we be doing that? Liliana stays in. Oops. So if we draw a land, that'd be alright. Next league, guys, next league I'm playing Infect. Sleight of hand, interesting. Although we're beating the Tron people also this way as well. Alright. Invisible Stalker. So he has actually, alright. So he's doubling down on the guy's plan and goes Invisible Stalker, alright. Being hexproof. Found a noble hierarch. Good for him. So let's see. He does have blossoming defense. Mutagenic growth is also relevant. I think we need to kill this. It's actually pretty important. I can, like, alright, another hierarch. Without the third land, this is going to be tough. But up until now, I haven't seen a white source, so maybe he's not playing Geist and just goes with Invisible Stalker. And for this reason, Jace is so important, that we don't get stuck on just like 2 lands. Come on. I think if we 4 or 6, yeah. I think this just lost now. Can't throw well all the time. Ranka. Yeah, so now he can kill it with mutagenic growth and still keep up blossoming defense. Therefore, if we had a removal spell and a counter spell in form of a dispel, that would have been alright, but this way it isn't. So the thing is hexproof and unblockable. I do want to have the flying stuff. That's really good. Probably want to have one as Steadycaster, nonetheless. Just because of the hierarchs and also because it just makes combat awkward. Man, what's going on here? Alright, let's keep all these freaking one-landers. So if he has if he has more than one threat in hand, which he doesn't. We're already down to 15. My life. Motherfucking shit. That's what I thought. So we could kill the noble, but we need to get rid of the vines first. He has 2 vines of basswood. Great. So are we gonna die next turn? I mean, we definitely need to take the become lands. He has another fetch land. That is just gonna kill us. 3. And then vines is 4. And he can keep 1. No. Yeah, no, we might be dead here. And it wouldn't have happened if we just drew another land. Well, yeah. Can't prevent being stuck. He's attacking for some here. And by that thing having trample, we can also not just block it with our Snapcaster Mage. Therefore, yeah, this is just unreal. Unreal. The thing is, maybe we should have risked it. In response to his Vice of Basswood, we could have bolted the Noble Hierarch, but then if he draws another pump spell, we're just dead in that spot. But this way we died anyway, so might be my first loss to Infect in like 2 years or something. Both times just being stuck on mana. Unbelievable. Last round. Well, and I hope whatever deck you're playing or planning to bring to the next event, I hope you can deal with 2 Trons, an Infect deck, and a Hollow One deck, all in a row. And then, if you can, tell me about it. Maybe it's a good time to play Hypers. Also, where's fucking humans? Oh my goodness, someone was playing in Zeren Visions on turn 1. What the fuck is going on, guys? What the fuck is going on? Now it's probably a Blue Moonless and we're running straight into a Blood Moon. Alright, blue-white control. Or storm, could also be storm. Could also be Jeskai. But having these many basics in the beginning, probably indicating that he is a blue-white controlist. Hopefully we're drawing a nimble obstructionist here. We are not. We're gonna try to have a look at his hand. Gideon, ally of Zendikar. Gideon of the Trials. Mana Leak and Negate. He doesn't have a second white mana source or a land yet. I think I'm just taking Gideon of the Trials there. Because we certainly cannot handle two Gideons. But if he finds the land and tips out for big Gideon, then she doesn't. And the longer he keeps up that flooded strand there, the better it is for us, because we could be drawing into what we need. There is Liliana that we might want to fetch for double black, but on that there is not a whole lot. Terminus, Path to Exile, Mana Leak, Negate. Well, maybe he has to discard soon. Cryptic Commanders, a card that we can play with. Not a land card. Oh man. Where's the nimble when you need it? Where is it? Nimble! Snapcaster Mage is actually pretty good. We can force him to do stuff. Let's see, probably top in that order. Discard Terminus, he doesn't know about LP and Kirana yet. And he draws the third island. But he does have both counter spells available to himself now. Alright. Now I'm gonna go this and this. Yeah, that's what I hoped for. Because Mana Leak's still relevant. Might also mean that he has a couple or additional copies of Mana Leak. But I think we will find out soon. He also has a Path to Exile still in hand. But is he going to path a Snapcaster Mage? I would doubt so. I mean, and if he does, that's fine. Also, he doesn't know about our spicy text yet. slowly but steadily drawing out his counter magic spells here from under his butt. Beautiful. Yeah, if we had a nimble man, great. Alright, he definitely has a counterspell still. Like waiting somewhere. Alright, let's see. Then I don't like that play. Then he should have done it before. Don't think that this was particularly well executed in that fashion then. He discarded the Terminus, therefore he might not be able to kill Pierre Lar when we play it now. He might also be running like, you know, cryptic Supreme Verdicts, of course, but we're still sitting on 2 Colligans commands, so that's fine. Teferi is what we really need to be worried about. Alright. Yeah, and now I don't think that he can still win. Settle the wreckage. No way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Don't mind getting free lands at all. We have 2 top hits. It's like, there's no way he lives. Now he's using Field of Ruin. What? The only 2 modes on here that we shouldn't be taking. Target player discards the card and destroy target artifact. Alright. So since they are playing so much top end removal in forms of Terminus, etc. We are actually... Jace is actually great. Counter scrolls. Put Collective Brutality on hold. I kind of want to have Burn Lavamancer. I don't know why, but feels really good. Potentially really good. Cryptic Command depends on what they might have, right? Let's take out one Jace, one Lavamancer, maybe one Cryptic. No, one Terminate. That should be alright, right? Lavamancer is a cheap threat that we can deploy at any times. And if Lavamancer gets hit by, you know, something that's not a bad deal, he only has Path of Exile. That is fine. Alright, yeah, I mean, gonna go after Snapcaster Mages. Field of Ruin. See if he just sacrifices his Snapcaster Mage here without getting any value out of it. Terminus as well. He does have a Field of Ruin, therefore this might not be the best play. But we will also have to see if he is gonna play the Jace into our counter magic. Ghost Quarter? Huh. That's actually quite interesting. There is Field of Ruin, and apparently he is not willing to play the Jace out without having backup magic. Alright. Yeah, Click's gonna get us. Probably taking the Lightning Bolt. That was a pretty good draw there. And we draw another Dispel. Unbelievable. So, yeah, we might get fucked by a Jace here. Might just get fucked by a Jace. So now he's 100% playing the Jace out. And he also doesn't need to use the Ghost Border. Like, actually his draws line up superbly well. Really superbly well, but he tapped wrong somehow. Somehow managed to tap wrong, yeah. What did he do? Put card on top. Sure. this doesn't feel great. Like ripping his hand apart and then having him. I mean, you can't prevent top deck, right? And that is also super fine. Okay, put a card to the bottom. Like that. Yeah, I mean, let's still go for it. If he wants to go squatter or field a rune, that's fine. He also still has a Pathway Exile in hand, I think. Here I don't even mind, like whatever he does. Put a card to the bottom. Think that we're just gonna go end of turn, kill the Celestial Colonnade, and the only thing that he can do about it is sacrifice his Ghost Quarter. Yeah, why would he do that, right? Now we're gonna go with more islands. And the Jace that we actually can protect. With 2 Dispels and a Logic Mod. And Jace is actually quite relevant. Our Jace as relevant as his Jace. Because it makes our top decks better. Makes everything better, to be honest. Alright, now he's drawing 3 cards in order to find some answer to our Jace. Hopefully for himself, found another counterspell. Even found a cryptic command apparently. There is no freaking card in our graveyard that we can return. Oh. Good that we did that. Alright. It's leaving our top deck to us. And I definitely don't want to lose against the fucking Jace. This is unreal. This is freaking unreal. Yeah, we cannot let that resolve. If he does have a counter spell. That'd be fine. We're not even too far behind here. I mean, it's not super bad. We could bounce the J's. So as an opt, put two cards to the top. I'm inclined to just go after the Celestial Colonnade, but on the other hand, he has so many lands, and that's probably not the right choice here. So we're gonna keep the Fulminator Mage around. Turn 3 shouldn't be too devastating, I hope. Alright, Snapcaster Thoughtseize is also pretty good. Next turn we can do that with lodging our backup. We can also constrain him on his mana. So now we really have to think about whether or not we'd like to do that. And I think, I mean, having a threat on board is also pretty great. Now let's and we were rewarded for it. So he has 2 exceptionally good planeswalkers in hand yet again. And if we take the dispel here, then he cannot protect it next turn. Therefore, we're going to do that. Could, of course, also... Oh, let's just take the dispel. You might be inclined to still go for it with 1 planeswalker. Question is, should we be killing the Celestial Colonnade here? Decline playing Field of Ruin up until this moment. He at least has planes in hand and a Field of Ruin and 2 planeswalkers. No, we know. I think that's what he just drew, right? I think he has a basic plane still in hand that I just clicked away. So I think we're just going to go after the Colonnade here. And fetch ourselves a red mana source. Shocks demands, and now we're on the full out aggressive plan here. Because if he, I mean, he needs to do something, right? He just has counterspells, 3 lands, and 2 big planeswalkers. Alright. Don't even know if Mysticate's the correct choice here. Probably it's just the Hallowed Fountain. We do have lethal. Don't think that he does have the means to dig out of this. One, two, three, four. Five. So now he's gonna use Feet of Ruin. All right. Whew. Tough league, but a pretty fun one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think, and see you guys next week.